What is going on? All right, we are back in the shop. It's, I don't know, Tuesday night. If you're wondering why we didn't post anything about us racing last weekend, it's because I got the vid, Tyson got the vid, we all got the vid. The only one who didn't get the vid was our boy Toby. Now Toby took one for the team, went out and put his body and soul on the line for the entertainment of the people. Are you not entertained? And for our attendance record. So Toby filled in for me. Let's just say Toby needs a little bit more sim time behind the wheel because got pretty ugly. Okay, so I guess I gotta do an outro. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. I bent some stuff. I hit the wall. She's a little schmucked. She's a little dinged. She's a little dented. You can't really see until Randall comes in and does a video or I'm fixing it. She's looped. Everything else is kind of, that's no good, broken. But yeah, so we did it for the boys. We went out. I had a hell of a day. I put the front end of a car back together, welded it on. That held up. I just blew the back end off of her. No big deal. She'll go out next week. And Randall and Tyson will not be sick anymore. So support your local dirt track. Leave some comments in below for the boys. Wish them well. And we'll see you next week. I just wanted to do a special little shout out. I just wanted to say thanks to Chrome to Envy, Merrittville Speedway, Pitbull Trucking, Arbor Heights, U-Haul, and anybody else that goes to work that came out to sponsor us today. Tyson with his editing and stuff. Just wanted to thank everybody for giving me that opportunity yesterday to go full bore. I put the front of a race car back together, went out there, drove 5 really friggin' great laps, and then something just let go and it kept sliding and I smacked the wall. So I'm not sure if something broke beforehand or maybe I was just too hot heavy in the fucking foot to go in the corner to be you know what I mean? I just wanted to go fast. So special thanks to everybody, especially Randy letting me use his truck, Danny for letting me drive his car. Just thanks to everybody for letting me have a pretty wicked day. Thanks for all the support at the track from the local guys that I talked to as well. All the hands, all the waves, everything. I really appreciate it. Camaraderie was at its finest, and thank you very much. So, if you're wondering why that frame is back in the shop, no, it's not because I'm working on it right now and making it better, because that would make sense. We're still in the season. It's not happening. All right, we need parts off of that to make this one a drivable car again. Now there was a little bit of issue, a little bit of banging with the push bar. Okay, that's not a big deal. This little guy, there's a little issue there. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. There's no springs in this thing, nor is that shock. It's supposed to be back here, and that drag link is supposed to be well connected, and it's not. So between that, as well as now this axle has got a little bit of a curve to it, it's no good. So we're gonna pull the rear end out of our car, and then that's not it.
But wait, there's more!
I don't know if you can see a little difference on the strut tower mounts here, but I think one's a little bit high. I feel like that's supposed to be connected down there. He did a number on it. I'll give him credit. Toby went all in. So so we got quite a bit of fixing to do on this thing this week, just so that we can go racing on Friday at Ohsweken. So good job, Toby. Good job. We're gonna take some of what is pre-existing here, obviously cut it and fix it, but I do have a decent game plan. The plan is we're gonna cut this bar right out of here, cut this bar out of here, sleeve this, put a new bar in here, but also take this and basically pull this down, and then we'll probably end up having to take the side panel off to throw some more vertical gussets back onto these two tubes. This one goes in and ties in with the dash bar, and this one goes right into the A-pillar here. So, and then we're gonna replace this one also that goes down to the K member,
replace that, basically just make that one solid piece. It looks like this was a 2-piece and it was welded at one point, so we'll fix that, make that a 1-piece, strap that back down, tack that back up, fit all this other stuff in. Probably a new bash bar on the front because that one's also mangled. Straighten out a little bit of the bodywork. The fender's a little creased. The side panel's a little creased. Change a wheel because I feel like that wheel's no good no more. Tow truck operator also ripped off this back bar that the trunk mount goes onto, so we'll have to rebuild one of those. This car's in here because we got 4, well, we got 3 because I already took 2, or I already took 1. 3 drag links that I know are good, so I'm gonna pull those out. I'm gonna pull this rear end off, shocks, struts, all that stuff. I might as well pull it off while I'm here. You can see I already cut this one out because I needed that for when we almost rolled over, and replaced it on that bottom corner there. So steal these ones for now. Put this rear end in here because I know this rear end is straight, or I should say straighter than that one. We'll open up the pumpkin, see what we got for gears inside there so that we know, because we're getting ready to do that with that one. But now I don't see much of a point in doing that unless we're going to straighten the axle out and whatnot. So we'll get that out. We'll see how that one is and go from there, whether it's just scrap or what. We're still not working on this yet, so just don't beat me up too much. But yeah, we're still not working on this quite yet. Like I said, I want to finish up this season with this, and then we're gonna have to start buying parts probably, because all of our parts are going into that car. The majority of the parts here, it's just a matter of what I want to use, what I want to clean up, what I don't want to clean up, that kind of thing. That's the plan. That's what we're doing. For everybody that is thinking about it, the COVID wasn't too bad for like 2 days on my end, at least. Ashley got it, my wife, she got it. She wasn't too bad. The baby is dealing with it right now, and she's not enjoying it. So hopefully everything there goes over good. Just like she can't communicate anything. It's kind of shitty. So that's our plan. That's what we're doing. We're back in the shop. I know we haven't had a shop video for a while. Tyson wants to do like a shop tour now that we kind of have everything kind of situated. Even though we don't kind of have everything situated. We don't, there's still a lot of moving and sorting, and there's still a lot that needs to go into it. To do that, we have a good idea basically of where everything is going, but we don't at the same time. So this is the intro to this video. Stay tuned, watch us fix this thing. That way we can go out to Ohsweken on Friday night and we can kick some ass.
Much later.
Well, apparently I'm a pretty shitty YouTuber because I got all carried away and the rear end's out. So it looks like this upper drag link's broken, but fixable. So I'll probably end up fixing that. I can just weld a patch panel on there, make a little fish plate, strengthen that back up. The bushing's still in there, it's still okay. And a little bit of straightening out, but not so bad. That's fixable. This, on the other hand, this is Toby's handiwork for sure. Okay, so as you look down the axle and then you go, hey, what are you doing way over there? I think Toby was just trying to throw in some tow to hey puppies, what do you think about that? Oh yeah, yeah, that's no good. I will be recording taking this one out. I took off the lower link bars, that way I wouldn't have to on this one. Now that being said, it's an absolute prick. Whoever welded this up before didn't do a very nice job of making it workable. So if any of those drag links you had to change, you got to cut it all open.
What a prick.
So as you can see, I did it on this side just to get the one side out because there's a plate on that side, and as you can see over there, there's a plate on that side. That lower drag link is going to stay in there until I deem it coming out. That way, one, I can keep the geometry on where the rear end is set. I can keep that because I don't want to have to mess around with that too much. We are going to change that in the future when we start working on this thing again, because I hate that. That is dumb. Structurally, everything underneath here is actually still in really good shape. So for Danny being like a 17-year-old kid with a little gasless flux core 110, everything's holding up. Toby's gone over it, and I've gone over a little bit. Not bad, Danny, not bad.
Well, you must be very proud of yourself.
That's where I'm at tonight. I'm not gonna work anymore. It's late, I wanna go home. Now I need to shower. I got a lot dirtier than I expected. And sweaty. It's like 30 degrees in here, 29 degrees. So this is where this is gonna stay for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow, or whatever day. I don't even know what day. All I know is we're going racing on Friday. The rear end's the easy part. That front strut tower, that's gonna be a little bit more time consuming. So between me and Toby, the two of us will hammer that out in no time. We're gonna go to bed now.
The next morning.
Rear end is out. I left the drive shaft connected because we might as well just throw the drive shaft right back into that, and then we'll just pull Danny's transmission out and we'll set it with his rear end. It came out super easy, so that's really nice. Pop this thing in here, see how that rear end looks.
A few moments later.
Back underneath the car. Rear end is in. Basically 2 bolts on the upper links, 2 bolts on the lowers. I kept the lowers attached. I pulled the uppers out until I got the lowers in place, and then put the top ones back on. Basically drop them in, drop the shocks in so that they'll basically be an alignment tool for the rear end. Kind of get everything kind of situated, get it close, and then do it. Drive shaft is not in at the moment. I gotta clean this up a little bit before we stick that into that seal. Otherwise it'll just rip that seal out. But I kind of wanted to get everything in one shot rather than pull the drive shaft apart. It's a hell of a lot easier to pull this apart like this rather than pulling it apart on the ground with just me and the pinion angle all cattywampus. As you can see, there's no springs in here yet. I gotta put the springs in. I gotta do that still. So I'll drop the springs in once all the hardware is tightened up for the rear end. Because you could basically, with this thing at full droop like the way it is, you can basically throw the springs in. They don't have, like, you know, they're only being held in by the weight of itself. So, and then I just had to hook up our brakes, which is just off of here, off the flex line onto the hard line that's up there. I will do that, as well as I noticed another cracked weld there, so I'll get that welded up because that's tank support and that's important. Straighten out this body, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of this strut tower. These tires are no good, so we'll have to do some tires this week also, because these tires I used for burnouts at my diaper party. If you haven't seen that video, go back, check out that video. I'm sure Tyson will put it in the link right here. All right, so we got the car spun around, back down on our ass end here. Found another little issue. That's no good. That comes through onto the starter solenoid, so we'll stick a grommet through there. I think with this coming up, it must have, I don't know, either slipped the grommet and it jazzed out, but you can see it. There's definitely some arcing marks there. So we're gonna get cutting, move these wires out of our way here, try and get this back down. One piece cut. I'm gonna cut this right here, and then we'll get to pinching. Try and get that back down to a respectable height. All right, so it is pinching nicely. It's how far is nicely. How far down is it supposed to be? Because now it's pretty well level with the other side. It's just a matter of getting it down enough so that we can actually tack that back down and then start rebuilding all the tubes. It's going to spring back a little bit when I let go of the come along. A little trial and error. All right, we welded in a new bar and we're going to add some rigidity by throwing that guy in there and tying it back to this guy here. So basically a vertical support because that strut's not really being held on with much. And I'll probably end up throwing one to go back or one just straight down. I'll get this one in, we'll go from there.
That's pretty slick. That's pretty sick.